Well, we've got an absolute crazy situation going on with EA. What it looks like to me, essentially firing one of their employees in the Game Changer program over a negative review of Anthem. And the whole situation is pretty hilarious. And I actually just want to pull up the latest reviews on Anthem because I'm not exactly sure what they expected. Okay, when we look at... I hate autoplay videos. When we look at the current reviews, basically the shill media, based on 32 quote critics, still only giving the game a 60%. And then when you look at the user review, it has a 37%. Now, the fans of Anthem, the ones that are out there, they are mega fans. I have never in my life experienced people just so in denial about being ripped off. I really, it is bizarre to watch. I watched reviews by Skill Up, for example, and his comments were littered with people that were just angry that he dared to put his time in and do in my opinion, proper review. Now, does Anthem have potential long-term? Probably. In the state that it's in now, I think, a 30-40% is probably a reasonable score. If you played the game for 10 hours, you kind of played the game. There ain't much there. But then a story broke this morning from G-Man. I'd never heard of him before, and that isn't like a diss. He's got a fairly large YouTube channel with looks like 200,000 subscribers. So if you're into gameplay reviews, it's probably worth checking him out. He tweeted this morning, "I finally managed to get my Anthem game video done, and sadly, I don't have many positive things to say about it. I hope they can fix the game over time by listening to player feedback, but right now it's a hard sell and a dang shame." Now remember, I found out later that this man is actually a part of EA's Game Changers, which is essentially an access journalism program that EA has to give content creators some behind-the-scenes looks. It's something that I don't know if I'd ever want to be a part of it because there's a specter of, it's pay to play, essentially. Like, you can't give negative reviews in terms of retaining that access. That's one of the biggest problems with these types of programs. You have media Game Changers getting people with, just overly excited about everything. Everybody's smiling. Everything that EA does is super awesome sauce, and you should pre-order it. Now, that is, of course, the specter around the program. I don't personally know anyone who's a part of the program, but to me, when you get into bed with the developer, your credibility on a game review is automatically called into question. Fair or not, right? Fair or not. If you're taking money from EA, I automatically will question the things you say. It's only human nature. Imagine that is essentially your job. You will lose said access. But people would always say, no, Jeremy, you're being crazy. You're being crazy. Look at you, you toxic male in your basement. You're just with your conspiracy theories. Well, the first comment says, video's unavailable. They reply, I'm blacklisted by EA now, had to delete it. Update the video if people are interested. It's the same video, just without the disclaimer in the start, meaning that no longer a part of the Game Changers program. And the reply, whoa, EA made you take down a review because it's too negative? A review? That's insane and disgusting. He replies, yes. So you look at some of the people in EA. Here's the community manager for EA coming out to say, hey, both just want to clear something up. Nobody has been blacklisted by us. Our team in Australia asked the video be taken down because some of our conditions on disclosure on sponsored content wasn't met. Nothing to do with the content of the video. We encourage the game changers to be honest in their content. It's one of the most important parts of the program, and the community trusts them because of that honesty. Feel free to ask me or any of the game changers about how it works. More info here. Here, Lee, here's the question, though. If it was only a disclaimer, if it was only a thing about the disclaimer, right? Why didn't you just tell this YouTuber to change the disclaimer and re-upload, right? That's not what you said. And in fact, you lied here. As games media started to pick up this story, you'll see. Update. Now, this is an update that seems to go against exactly what Lee said. Since publishing this news post, we've reached out to some of EA Game Changers in an attempt to clarify some points. Speaking to one creator, they told me the following. As far as I understand it, when EA asked me to work with them on paid content, they simply want the coverage of the game. They've never had issues with me giving my full and honest opinion. In this case, I think the channel in question was sponsored to cover the game, go over just the general gist, and show gameplay. Think of it as the Apex Legends Twitch event, where Twitch paid big streamers to play Apex as soon as it went live. They paid them to do so. It was a deal. The channel got paid to make a video, quote, covering the game. According to the same source, these sponsorship deals often give the content creator a larger sum of money than would be generated via Google AdSense, the traditional monetization method given on YouTube. We also contacted EA in an attempt to get more details about these sponsorship deals, as well as specific circumstances around the video being taken down. At this time of writing, we've been directed to the tweet by Lee Williams. Now, is it about... Did they actually say, we don't want to sponsor a review? You were just supposed to play the game? This doesn't sound like that. That's not what the actual man says. EA asked them to delete it. He's not, I highly doubt he's going public against EA lying. I'm certain he has the receipts on this. Lee did not say that it was a problem with the video disclaimer. This other person, a part of the program, seems to insinuate that he was just supposed to showcase the game, not review it. But Lee says it's just the way the disclaimer was worded. And he didn't then go on. If that was the case, why didn't you then go on and we told the creator how to fix it and everything's good? He didn't say that. He just said, oh, it was a problem with the disclaimer. And he doesn't continue on past that. And here he replies, but I was honest in my content, though. If I was being dishonest, I'd have to say the game was good. He replies, I believe that you were giving your honest opinion in the game, man. Like I said, we encourage the game changers to do that. And you've not been blacklisted. I'm sorry you felt this way about the whole thing. That's really interesting. That's really interesting because then the creator, I'm very confused because why isn't this person why isn't Lee Williams saying, dude, we're good. You're still a part of the program. You just had to change a disclaimer. Why didn't this YouTuber, it's like if I did a video sponsoring, I'm trying to think of a bunch of examples. Let's say that Mountain Dew Game Fuel told me to promote it, which this is not a promotion, although Mountain Dew pay me money. And I said, okay, I uploaded a video about Game Fuel, and they say, yo, you were supposed to say that, you know, it only has 90 calories per can. You didn't say that. Or, hey, yo, you're supposed to say in the video, this is sponsored by Mountain Dew Game Fuel. You only said it's sponsored by Mountain Dew. Can you fix that? Right? Like, you wouldn't have to delete a video and I mean, maybe, but why wouldn't the video then have been re-uploaded with the proper disclaimer? And he goes on to say, they don't really review games. They just talk generally and broadly over certain elements, is my guess. You know, this is an issue. So what EA is saying is we're not paying you for your opinion. I'm not sure what's going on here. This looks really sus. And then you read the original post saying, YouTuber G-Man Lives was sponsored by EA to review Anthem as part of Game Changers initiative. He put up a review and gave his honest negative impressions despite money changing hands. EA says this is something it encourages as a part of the Game Changers and that it wants its audience to trust these paid reviews. By the way, never trust paid reviews. However, shortly after the review went live, the YouTuber was asked to remove the EA watermarks, he claims. These watermarks are what show the audience that someone is a member of Game Changers. In a Twitter DM exchange, he told me, quote, I basically wasn't allowed to say anything negative about the game if I had the watermark in because the watermark means EA endorses it and shares it through the Game Changers network or something. I really don't know what it all means. I was just told to pull it I was just told it was to be pulled down and basically a breach of contract. Wow. I mean, wow. Right? The review has since been re-uploaded without the watermarks. The Game Changers create a variety of content for EA, working with them to create guide videos, previews, and more. I asked if he had been, I asked GGman, I don't know, if he's been sponsored to specifically create a review for Anthem, which he replied, yes. In traditional games media, there's a layer between advertising and site content. There's an ad team at Gamer Network, for example. They sort out ad deals. We have no say in what they do and can't influence the editorial side. The writers at traditional media also don't directly profit from any ad deals they do make, removing other potential conflicts of interest. While I think it's good that this YouTuber was honest with his coverage, it's concerning to see how many different standards there are for solo content creators on YouTube. It reminds me of a recent Apex Legends event where video presenters had agreed to help announce the game with the hashtag Apex Partner before even playing the thing. Right. Now, here's the thing. By the way, a rare good article on VG247. Nice job, Kirk. I think that's a good overview. I mean, you look at a game that is just getting absolutely shredded in the reviews. You've got some holdouts, obviously, but you know, is this a case of a misunderstanding? I don't think so. It's hard to say because his direct quotes. Now, I tend to believe what this man is saying, and there is a lot of consistency. First, he tweeted that he had to take it down because it was negative. Maybe they didn't say that. I doubt EA actually said that. That's my guess. What EA, they're smarter than that. What they probably said, which is what he said in the Game Changers, or in the response to this video game outlet, VG247, saying that, you know, it was as if EA endorsed it and it was a breach of contract. To what this guy is saying, Lee Williams, I mean, he might be a very nice man, but this feels like absolute baloney sausage. I mean, it feels like just BS. I mean, the fact that the conditions on the disclosure weren't met, I mean, come on. That is just horse shit. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you other than EA, you know, on top of a very rough launch, on top of a very, very disappointing review, you have this piece of negative press. What you should have done is just eaten it and let it go and then quietly address it with the content creator behind the scenes. I think what it really was is a Game Changer was very critical of a launch on launch day. That's what I think it was. Not a good look, EA, and I feel bad for this YouTuber because he probably got, you know, free Steam codes or free game codes and other stuff. But like I've always said, I don't care what the amount of money is. I think taking money from a publisher to review something is just not a type of business that you want to get into. It's going to open you up to criticism, fair or not, that your impartiality may be for sale. Stick to promoting, you know, like razors and coffee and everything else outside of the game industry. I think that's a safer way, but not a good look, not a good launch for Anthem. I hope you enjoyed this video though, and I'll talk to you again real soon.